It's about time we talk about upcoming games this year. Since there's so many games coming out in 2024, I think it's fair we talk about them month by month. Given January is almost over, it's a little late to talk about games upcoming in January for the most part, but I may as well cover all of those as well. And today I want to talk about games coming to Steam Deck. These are games that I think have a 90% chance of working out of the box on Steam Deck. And if you like this video or any other of my videos, please like and subscribe and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that I'm doing good and that you're enjoying the video. Let's talk about the rest of January's games. Let's talk Tekken 8. I've tried Tekken 8's demo on Steam Deck and it works great. I've tried the demo out for myself and you can see that the game runs at a buttery smooth 60 FPS during combat. No graphical changes were made. Next up is the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy, part point and click, part detective game, part visual novel. I'm very certain this game will run out of the box on the Steam Deck at 60 FPS. It's even Steam Deck verified. And given the nature of all of the Ace Attorney games, they aren't really super intense games to run, so I don't see it having a major performance issue on Steam Deck whatsoever. Also releasing within this very tight time frame is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. The game's not out yet, but Steam Deck HQ reports that the game runs pretty well. I'd check out their review for more information. But by the looks of it, the game runs pretty well. You could even maintain 30 FPS with FSR enabled on max graphical details, though this would consume your battery. Not gonna lie to you, I still haven't played Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, so I don't really know how this new combat system plays out, but I definitely want to get to playing Yakuza 7 and Infinite Wealth. Next up is Undernight In-Birth 2, Sysilis, the final Undernight game. It's a 2D fighter made by French Bread, the guys that co-created Melty Blood alongside Type Moon. I've played a bit of Undernight on my Steam Deck, the newest one before this one, and it ran really well. I mean, what's there to say? It's a 2D fighter. And yes, I'll admit I haven't addressed the elephant in the room, that being the controls on the Steam Deck. I think they're perfectly fine for fighting games, but given I'm kind of a fight stick Andy, I prefer using a fight stick. I'm like 90% certain the game will run, but it's hard to know whether or not cutscenes will be broken. I kind of doubt it, but at the same time, it's certainly possible. But even if the cutscenes break, let's be perfectly honest, you're not playing this for the story, you're playing this to fight dudes online. By the time this video releases, the game will already be out. I think this covers about every remaining major release in January. Yeah, I didn't get to talk about games like Pal World or Prince of Persia because I thought of this video too late, but you know what, it's whatever. Now let's get to the main meat of the video. February games. All games will be arranged in release dates, so whatever releases earlier will be talked about first. Obviously, I can't cover every game that releases in February because that would take too long, but I'm going to talk about the ones that I think will work on Steam Deck. First and foremost being Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. You know, Grand Blue Fantasy has always been a popular gacha game, but Cygames has really taken that gacha money and just invested it in all sorts of different things, like anime and like other games as well. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink being one such project. A big sprawling action RPG that's also co-op may be a tougher sell on the Steam Deck, and I'm not entirely sure this will run, but I think it'll run. I don't know if you'll have to reduce the graphical details, but if you need to do that, then it's not a huge deal. Next up is Persona 3 Reload. It's a remake of Persona 3, but presumably without all the really annoying stuff that people hated about Persona 3. One big example being the inability to directly control your allies. This is going to be a hot take, but I think Persona 3 was the best Persona game, and it's getting a glorious remake. Atlus has been doing a pretty good job of making their games work on Steam Deck, with Persona 3 Reload being marked as Steam Deck verified before release. And given that the Steam Deck is portable, I think this is the best platform for JRPGs. The next game is going to be a contentious one, but I do have to talk about it. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. The big question is it going to be any good? I don't know. It really depends on the person. But the more pertinent question that I want to answer is, will this game run on Steam Deck? And part of me says no, but another part of me wants to be a contrarian and say yes. The alpha supposedly ran at medium details, 30 FPS on Steam Deck. I can't confirm this because I didn't get invited to the alpha, but I mean, take this with a grain of salt. The alpha also used easy anti-cheat, but they enabled Linux support, at least for the alpha. So there's a good chance that not only will it run on Steam Deck, but it'll also work as well. And given public sentiment about the game so far, I think they'd be wise to let Steam Deck players play the game. Next game, of course, is Helldivers 2. I think this game will run on Steam Deck. I've read the minimum requirements and they don't seem that intense. And minimum requirements are generally written for like 1080p gameplay. I think it'll run. I think it'll be a great time with friends. especially if your friends also have Steam Decks. I think that would be really badass. Next up is the Tomb Raider remaster. It's a remastering of Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. Given it's a remaster of old PS1 era titles, I don't think it would be too graphically demanding, but you never know. I think this game will go smoothly and run pretty well on Steam Deck, barring some technical difficulties with, I don't know, Proton or something like that. Next up is Goat Simulator 3. That's right, there's no Goat Simulator 2. Technically, this isn't a new release because it's been on Epic for like 1 or 2 years at this point now, but we're gonna call it a new release. I don't even know why I'm mentioning this game. There's already videos of it running perfectly on Steam Deck, so yeah, it'll run on Steam Deck. Next up is Slave 0X. I covered this last year during the Steam Next Fest, and my god, it's glorious. The demo I played just fine. There were some technical difficulties, but it was a demo for a game that wasn't going to come out for at least another year. I firmly believe that the game will run pretty well on Steam Deck when it releases. The next game is Goblin Slayer: Another Adventure Nightmare Feast. Wow, what a title. So it's based on hit goblin slaying anime Goblin Slayer. I'm not gonna lie to you, most licensed anime games, like the upcoming Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game, aren't really worth talking about. But the Goblin Slayer game looks to do something different. It's a turn-based strategy RPG, kind of like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics. It's an interesting concept, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on this one. I think it'll run on Steam Deck just fine, honestly. And for the last game on this list, this is last only because it's listed as February 2024, but there's no date listed, so yeah. This game is called A Difficult Game About Climbing. Yeah, seriously, that's what the name of the game is. Basically, it looks like one of those meme games like Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, where you climb and it's physics based and you're gonna fail. And it's gonna generate a lot of streamer reactions because they mess up a climb and they fall all the way back down. Will it run on Steam Deck? Yeah, I mean, it'll probably run on Steam Deck. Will you want to play it on Steam Deck? It depends on how rage-proof you are. I suspect this is going to be one of those games where you just rage at your computer or at your Steam Deck more accurately, and then in a fit of anger and frustration, you throw your Steam Deck down and destroy it, breaking it into a million different pieces. So that covers every game I can think of in February that I think will run pretty well on Steam Deck. If I missed any other games, please let me know down in the comments so that I can rectify this mistake. If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos, and if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech lowlife with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.